there's a fish, guys. There we go. Oh yeah. That's hanging down. Oh, he's got me. Oh, that felt like a decent one, that. And we're in again. Oh, we've been done again. Well, there's a crew of decent fish down there, and I've just been smashed up twice, as you've just seen, by 2 proper fish there. Ah. Oh. Now that is a shame, but oh, there we go again. Hello folks, welcome back. Now, for those of you that follow me for the content that we do out on the boat, sorry we haven't been out on the boat in recent times, and no, I haven't got rid of the boat. We've been doing a hell of a lot of shore fishing, as I'm sure you've been seeing, but we have been getting battered by severe weather all the way through the winter, and we've just had no chance of getting out. This is the first time I've been out now for in over a month on the boat. I just can't be bothered to go up the river all the time and drown baits up the river catching small stuff. I'm looking to get something to pull the string, so that's why I'll plot around going on the shore if I have to. But I do love getting back out on my boat, and as we get through into spring, summertime, obviously we're going to be hitting it a hell of a lot more than what you've been seeing. So don't worry, the content will be coming. For today, have a look at this today. Look, lumpy as you like. The forecast yet again was supposed to be low single figures coming from the north. It was giving 4 to 7 miles an hour from the north. Now, by my reckoning, the wind we've got coming in is coming straight from the east, and also it is definitely pushing to low double figures. So, once again, thank you, Mr. Weatherman, making our life an absolute misery on our small boat. But I'm out here now anyway, and I've got a nice few hours this morning. It's a really big tide. I have a few hours this morning to try to get my old jigs going down. We're on some wrecks. I really would love to catch a couple of nice big pollock for the freezer, and also to get my string pulled. Obviously we wouldn't turn our nose up at a cod or a ling or anything of those type. Bass wise, it is still no catch and release only, no taking any bass. So any bass, if we do catch them, are going to be getting maybe measured on the measuring stick and then thrown straight back over. But that's about it. I'm back on the Joker jigs. Hopefully it's not such a strong case of wind over tide and I can get the jigs down there. If it is, then I'll switch over to the old faithful boom tactics. Don't really want to do that. I've come here really hoping to get my slow jigging gear out today, so let's give it a go. I'm going to swing round. We're out on a wreck now. I was heading to a wreck about 20 odd miles out. I've stopped at a wreck now about 11 to 12 miles out, and probably this is going to be the range that we're fishing today. It's once again, like I say, pretty sloppy, pretty lumpy, and getting another 10 miles on from this is just chancing it in this small boat. So let's give it a crack, sit back and enjoy it. We'll whiz through what lure I'm going to stick on in a moment and our set up, but yeah, here we go. Right, here we go. The old trusty faithful little pen squall reel. That's loaded up with 22 pound, I think, 22 pound Daiwa J braid. I've got the Joker fluorocarbon leader on. I'm using a little Savage Gear up to 200 gram slow pitch jigging rod, one nice little pitch digging rod, and I've got a lovely cotton candy joker jig gonna go down. So let's drop that down and see how we do. Fingers crossed. Down on the bottom, and there's a fish. We're on. That's good. I did say there was fish showing there. Excellent. I can see a big load of fish now. I don't know what we've got here, but it doesn't feel anything too spectacular. What do we have? We've got a small pollock. Well, that's a start. It's a small pollock, first drop. There's a hell of a lot of fish sitting up the front of the wreck. And we've got plenty of time to get down. But there you go, folks. Back she goes. There we go, we're back touchdown. And we've just come off the nose of the wreck here. There's still signs of life showing. So I'm gonna just sit it out here in the front of the wreck. There's a fish. Oh, I really like to employ the sort of very sharp jolting technique, and then every now and then a large drifting pull up, and then if I don't have any action, I like to go with 4, 5, 6 winds, bring it up through the water a bit like so, and then drop it all the way back down and let it flutter back down. That's the general motions that I'll go through. Little sharp jigs, couple of big strokes, whiz it up through the water, and there's a fish on the drop. Look at that. Well, that's nice, isn't it? That feels a bit more solid. Yeah, that's taking a bit of drag, that one. That definitely felt a bit more solid. Brilliant stuff. That is feeling nice. Well, we're out in the rough stuff. But what a start, eh? Felt nice and solid as soon as I pulled into it, to be fair. And then stripped a bit of line, as you saw. And that is feeling a really nice fish. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, this old joker jig is doing the business this morning, isn't it? Lovely stuff. It's a nice pollock. Now look at that, folks. It's a lovely start to the day, lovely fish, but have a look at the markings on the back of that towel there. I don't know if you can pick that up, but that has been whacked by something. Something has tried to eat that. I'm going to dart this one back. There, back down she goes. Let's go down, down we go. There we go, we're on bottom. Yes, we've touched down. And here we go again. And there's a fish, guys. There we go. Oh yeah. That's hanging down. Oh, he's got me. Oh, that felt like a decent one, that. And we're in again. Oh, we've been done again. Well, there's a crew of decent fish down there, and I've just been smashed up twice, as you've just seen, by 2 proper fish there. Ah. Oh. Now that is a shame, but oh, there we go again. And we've dropped it again. What the hell? There's a fish. There we go. We're in. Yeah, lovely. And that one's taking a bit of drag as well. There we go, look. Wow, this is some fun today. Oh yeah. Absolutely getting nailed here, people. Can't argue with that. I totally love this type of fishing with this little jigging rod. It's literally my favourite type of, oh yeah, look at that. It's my favourite type of sort of wreck fishing by far. Get the little jigging rod out, the light line, and fishing these slow jigs. It's just revolutionary. Since I've been doing it on my boat over the last few years, I've never looked back. I absolutely love it. It's so much fun, so direct. If you've never tried it, you've got to have a go, because it's fantastic fishing. It really is. It's great sport. What have we got going on here? My guess is obviously there we go, a nice pollock. We're going to chin that one out. Oh, there we go. This one's going to be home for the pot. I am going to keep a few today. Let's lift him in. There you go, folks. He wanted that old joker, didn't he? Beautiful. Really enjoying it today. I'm going to quickly... Oh, that is well hooked there. That weren't coming off that time. I'm going to quickly get the boat back round to where I lost them couple of decent ones, I think. And have another little crack at it. That's 3 there in 2 drifts so far. It's going well. Have a look at that little posse of fish all sitting around this wreck here. I'm catching them right off the nose of the wreck there, as you can see. And we've only done 2 drifts and we've been into action straight away. So let's crack on. Just giving it a few winds up through the water, a few feet up for any fish that are sitting higher up. And sometimes as well, it just catches the eye of a few fish. You see it, they see it darting up, and then you drop it back down again and it's fluttering down. And on the flutter, on the down, quite often is when you get the smash. If you've never done this sort of fishing before, you will find that as well, that you get a lot of your takes as you're dropping it through the water, and you just, as you're dropping it, your line just stops or goes slack, kind of like when you're mackerel feathering, if you've done a lot of that feathering, and you've got a fish on the end and you sort of just wind down, set the hook, and away you go. It's great stuff. There's a fish. There we go. Lovely. Yeah. Go on, son. Well, they don't have to be monsters, these old pollock. When you're using this sort of balanced tackle on these little jigging rods, you get a real good scrap out of them, even when they're 3 and 4, 5 pounders. Obviously we're all looking for that big massive double, and they are here at the moment. A lot of the big girls are out 20 miles off. It's very early on, but they are coming in. Let's have another little go. Such a spirited fish, the pollock. There we go, another nice fish. Lovely stuff. That's another good one. There we go. Let's just grab hold of that. And just have a look at that, people. Look, when you say, people say you don't get hookups on them, proper hookups. Look, there you go. on these jigs, that is a proper hook up, right in the scissors, both hooks in the scissors. Check that out. Well, Matthew from Joker Jigs, your jigs are doing the business here again today, and I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. There you go, look, there's a much nicer fish. Happy days. That's a real fit fish, that is. Felt like I had a little knock on the way down there. There's a fish. I did have a knock on the way down. There you go, folks, have a look at that. That's what you call nailed. There's a fish. Lovely. That's really shaking. That was really shaking his head to start with there. That's starting to take a bit of line now. Look, that's. I wonder what we've got on here. Really was shaking his head to start with. I'm going to throw that one back. He's fighting fit. That one's going to go back. It's another nice pollock. Very strange fight. Let's dart him back. And give ourselves a full mouthful while we're at it. You do lose a few fish doing this jigging technique. You know, bear in mind, it's not like your sidewinders when you're waiting for them just to come and engulf it. You're up and down quite frenetically, and quite often, you know, if you're jigging up and they come in to smash it, you might just pull it straight off out their mouth or just hook them around the lips and that. It's not always foolproof, but you do catch fish on it, and when you catch fish on it, for me, it's the best. It's the best. The little balanced, lightweight gear you use for it, it's just excellent. There's a fish. Lovely. Lovely job. There we go. The little balanced, lightweight gear that you use for them, you just can't beat it. Such a good bit of sport. That one's bowling around. Right up in the water even, he's bowling. Yeah. What have we got going on here? Another nice pollock, look. I mean, that is another lovely fish. Yeah, very, very good. Have a look at that, look. Look at that. It's a really lovely fish yet again. It's another one for the pot. Gonna be probably the last one we take for the pot now. How many we got in there? We've got 3, that's 4. That's enough. That's enough for the pot now. I love the variety of the retrieves that you can do with the slow jigs. It was pointed out by the amputee angler the other day. I don't know if any of you watch him, but it's well worth a watch, his YouTube channel, and he was having a little chat about the slow jigging and the setups and that, and he highlighted it perfectly that when you're doing this type of fishing, there we go, there's a fish, we're in. When you're doing this type of fishing, you can do so much in terms of retrieves, difference in retrieve to spur a fish on, to get a take and induce a take. When you're using the old-fashioned sort of boom setup, which is brilliant, don't get me wrong, you've all seen me use it, and I will use it time and time again. When you're using the old-fashioned boom setup, it's only sort of fast or slow. That's all you can do. Slow it down, speed it up. That's the retrieve you can do. With these jigs, you can flutter it, you can drift it, you can lift it up through the water, you can sort of make it look like a stunned bait fish, like a spooked bait fish. It's such a varied thing that you can do with your retrieve and the way you work the jig. And all the jigs are shaped differently, they flutter and glide, and oh, I've dropped that fish. Right, here we are, second wreck of the day. It's about 4 miles away from the last wreck we was just on. First drop down, I'm gonna say I'm picking up a fair few fish on the finder. It looks busy down there, so fingers crossed. This is gonna be the last wreck I fish of the day. I've only literally done about an hour and a half's worth of fishing so far. I'm gonna give it another hour or two down to low water, just after low water, and then I'm gonna start creeping back in. But hopefully on this new wreck, let's see if we can't find something a bit tasty. Water's deeper here. We've gone about 4 miles further out. We're sitting in 240 feet of water here, and we're sort of midway down the ebb now, as opposed to where we was on the first wreck, which was like 220 over almost high water fishing down. So as you can imagine, this has probably got another good few feet on it if we'd have got here first, probably 250 feet. But we've got plenty of depth of water, like I say. We've got a wreck that looks like it's holding a lot of bait fish. I just slowly went over the wreck just to plot it out, and I saw a few what looked like suspicious marks of proper fish, and I'm getting, by the look of it, a good scattering of what looks like, as I say, bait fish. So I'm talking it up, and let's hope it delivers. We've had a good enough day so far as it is, but it's like everything in fishing, you want more. We all want more. You get a hit, you want another hit. So yeah, that's it. We're just plodding along. We're going at 0.6 knots. There's a fish. Oh yeah, we're straight in. Now that is going. That feels like a better fish. That is beautiful. That's bending the rod some. Yeah, that's really bending the rod over. Lovely job. That felt really nice when I hit that. Now, it could be a foul-looked fish, but that feels weighty. I'm not going to lie, that really does feel weighty. This feels like a really good fish. Really it does. It's taking me right the way round the houses. It's going to come miles away from the boat. Ah, it's foul-looked. It is a foul-looked fish. Well, I thought that, unless it's a foul-looked fish, then it's a real good one, but it is a foul-looked fish, so... I want to dart him back. He's gone back. Well, there's a lot of fish again showing on this wreck. They were showing further up, way ahead of the wreck. I think what I'm going to do next time is settle it further away from the wreck, because I've actually, by the time I'm getting down, I've missed a big patch of fish there before I even got to the wreck. So always pays you to keep an eye on your sounder, guys, and keep an eye out where the fish are sitting, because if you're seeing fish and you're marking fish up before you get to the wreck where you think they're going to be, then you know you need to change your drift accordingly. As I always say, they're going to tell you where they are, what they're doing. You won't dictate where you think they're going to be. We're getting over the wreck now. I'm going to go a couple of turns up. There we go. There's a fish. That's going well. He's going back down to the wreck, this one. Get out of there. He went head first to that wreck there. Well, what can I say? It is absolutely on fire out here today from Plymouth. My own little boat. I'm just on my own, and the amount of fish I've had today, most full charters would be happy with it. I've fished about an hour and a half, 2 hours worth of fishing. When it turns on out here in Plymouth, it is some of the best in the country. We're spoiled. We've got the wreck fishing, there's banks to fish over, bait fishing, which I love doing for your rays and taupe and spur dogs and that sort of stuff. You've also got Because of the estuary fishing for the gilthead bream in the summer and the Coochie's bream, it is absolutely a treasure trove of good fishing in Plymouth. And anybody around the country, if you're looking for a good spot to go and do a bit of fishing, not to mention we get the tuna as well here, but obviously that's a charter thing unless you've got a licence. But yeah, if you're ever plotting up around the country where you want to go and do a bit of fishing, you could do a lot worse than head to the beautiful port of Plymouth, and that's another nice fish. Another nice solid pollock, lovely fish. That one there as well hasn't blown his bladder. He's going to go back. I'm going to just hold this one up for you to have a look at. It's excellent stuff today. Really enjoying it. Really enjoying it. Right, back she goes. Talking about on the last drift here, have a look at that little patch there of fish way before the wreck. So I've gone further up to see if I can catch them out here, and they're still sitting further back than what I even thought. Oh, there's a few different patches of them. A lot of fish showing again there. A lot of fish showing on the sounder. Just gonna just pull this up through them. There's a lot of bait fish there. Let's see if we can't pick something up that might be sitting a little further up. There we go, we have. Now you see that little technique, guys? That there is it's always worth a go. I'm seeing bait fish sitting a little further up in the water, and so I've whizzed it up through the water, and something's either followed it from the depths or I've pulled it up through a few fish that are sitting further up. And again, it's what I was talking about earlier about varying your retrieves and the motion of your lure there. I could have carried on jigging that down low, but you know, just adapting and seeing a few fish up and then whizzing it up through them bait fish has induced a take. Only a little one, only a little small pollock there, but still really a lovely catch, just in the way that I caught it. Once again, hooked right in the nose, beautiful. Back down, lovely. We've got the same line, similar line to the last one, and we're just coming up to that ball of fish that's sitting in front of the wreck, and we're in. Well, there you go, that's that ball of fish sitting in front of the wreck, like I said. It's a gurnard. It's a gurnard coming in backwards. Well, check that out, folks. A little sod. Let's drop him back. They're spiny, these things. They're real spiny. Beautiful looking fish. Let me start him back. They're hardy little fellas. In basic layman terms, for those of you not familiar with this sort of fishing, is all we're doing is there's a shipwreck on the seabed, 240 foot down. There's an old sunken ship. The fish like to sit around the structure of the ship. The bait fish hide around it, and the prey fish ambush the bait fish around the structure of the wreckage on the seabed. And all we're doing is we're using the tide to drift us over the top of the wreck. Constantly we go back round again, start the engine, drive to the top of the wreck, let the tide drift us over the wreck, and as you're drifting over, you're dropping down your metal lure, your jig, and we're fluttering the jig off the bottom, in and around the bottom and in and around the structure area to make it look like and imitate pretty much like a wounded bait fish. And that's what triggers the predatory fish to come and attack it. They see it fluttering and jigging and darting through the water, think it's a little free meal, and wallop, they come and smash it. And that's why sometimes when you're doing this sort of fishing, you get really aggressive hits on the rod. As you're jigging up and down, all of a sudden the rod just whacks over, and you've got to set your drag right, because sometimes they can be literally straight into taking drag as soon as they hit it, and it's great fun. I was just saying, I like to try to do irregular little movements with the jig. Sort of little darts, long strokes, just to get it to fly all over the place. Like a fish in distress down there. There's a fish. Oh yeah, there's a good fish, that one. That's pulling. Yeah, that's hanging on, that one. That wants to get back down. Yes. Oh yeah. Oh, damn. Oh, that one I didn't want to lose. That was a good one. Damn. There's another fish. Oh, that's bumped me off as well. What is going on? Oh, you know what? I think they could well be cod down there. The way that fell, that could have been a cod, you know. Right over the sort of tide dropping a bit. Right in the wreck area. And slow and lethargic and heavy. Damn. Well, you know what that means, don't you? We're going to have to go back round again and fish that same little spot. Now, we just had them two fish bump off on the last drift, which was really disappointing because they felt like really solid fish and a different fight to the pollock. I wouldn't mind betting says they were cod. I wouldn't mind betting says we pulled into a little posse of cod and dropped both of them, which is very, very disappointing, but you know, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. When you're fishing with these long sort of 6-inch plus jigs, there's a fish. When you're fishing with these long jigs, you can expect to drop a few, because what happens is they just take the jig in their mouth and just don't get all the way down to the hook. This doesn't feel anything like those other fish we just lost at all. It's nodding away though. It's a really productive wreck, this one, isn't it? In fact, both wrecks we've been to today have been very productive. If we're going to get cod, I would expect to get them around this state of the tide. We're getting towards low water now, or just on around low water, and that is when you do catch them a lot of the time. Getting a good workout today. My arm's killing. What do we have? We have got a bass. Well, that's nice. Got a nice bass. I'm going to lift this one in and I'm going to just get that unhooked. That's a good fish as well, actually. Yeah, there we go, folks. 50 centimetres, that one. That's going to get darted straight back. We're not allowed to keep them. Let's let that one go on its merry way. You can see how fat that is, full of roe or whatever it is. Back she goes, and back down, look, whiz. Lovely. Now, I wonder whether or not those big bumping fish that I just lost right over the wreck, I'm thinking they were cod, but I wonder if they were great big clonking bass. They could well be. They definitely didn't feel like pollock, that's for sure, and I've got it in my mind that they weren't pollock. There's a fish straight away. Well, there's a lot of action to be had here, isn't there? Have a look at that. They are beautiful little fish. You know what? That will be our last drift, I think. On that note, that's going to be that. Have a look at him. Beautiful little thing. Back she goes. Oh, you know what? No, it's not. I lied. I'm going to do one more drift. Ha ha ha. Now, this has to be the last drift. We've said that for the last 3 or 4 drifts, but this has got to be the last drift. I've got things to do and people to see. We just get into the wreck now. There's fish showing all over the place, quite high up in the water. I'm dropping it back down towards the wreck. There's fish showing off the top of the wreck. We're just over the top now, and there's a fish. We're in. That's busting a bit of line. There we go. That last drift was worth it then after all. And there you go, people. On that note, it is time to go. That was the last cast, but it was worth it. Excellent stuff. Let's start this one back. She's gone. She's gone back. Great. Excellent. Well, on that note, we are going to call it. Just got to say, thanks for watching. It's been a really enjoyable day today. I've had hell of a lot of fish, and as you've seen, hell of a lot of fun. Conditions have been ever so slightly sloppy, but they have improved throughout the day, so that was good. The start of the day I was thinking we're going to be getting blown off here, but there you have it. We've only hit the sort of 10 to 12 mile range. I did want to go further, much further out for much bigger fish, obviously, but we've had a really good mixed bag of good fish today. And yeah, happy days. Thanks very much for watching. See you again next time. Ciao for now. Now, folks, if you're like me, with your pollock fillets, you like to skin them because they've got quite a tough skin on them. These Sakuma blades here are absolutely spot on for it. The shape of it, have a watch of this. You just literally take a little nick under the bottom section so you can grab hold of the skin, and the shape of this Sakuma blade here, it just goes along the flesh, in between the flesh and your skin, and look, whips it off. Look at that. And have a look at that there. That is bang on. Skinless, beautiful fresh fillet, just ready for the pot. There's some beautiful fresh pollock fillet there. Look at that. All ready to be vacuum packed down and eaten fresh also. Lovely jubber.